Adelante. Hello everyone. This is BGO fan page, and today we are going to interview Michael with all your questions. Hello Michael, how are you?
Hello Angie, I'm doing just fine.
Yes, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Ready for the first question.
Perfect.
Número uno.
Número uno.
Yes. Let's do it.
Vamos allá. First question is came from the UK. Dale.
Dale in the UK.
Dale, in the UK, yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. How did you get into music, and what was the first instrument you learned to play?
Okay. I was living in Muscatine, Iowa. I had a good friend, Tim Wallet, and he was going to do a video for the local PBS station, something through the college or something like that, and he's going to do a music video, and he was a good singer and a guitar player and songwriter. So he asked me one day, "Hey Mike, you want to be in a video?" I said, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." And I said, "I don't know how to play an instrument though." He goes, "I'll teach you bass guitar." So this was a few months before it was actually going to happen, and he started teaching me, so I learned that way. And then the video never happened, but I credit him for my start in music. And what was the second part of that question?
Wow. The second part of the question is what's the first instrument?
Oh, the first instrument, well, bass guitar. So
okay.
That was answered in there.
The bass.
Okay.
Yes.
The bass guitar, slap at the bass.
Okay. How would you describe the music of BGO to someone who has never heard them? This is good.
That's a good question. Let me think about that in my head for 1 second. 1 second is up, and I would describe it as joyful and upbeat, mostly, and that's what I think when I go into writing these songs. So I would describe it upbeat and joyful.
And they ask, have you ever considered AI to assist at all for creating the string parts, for instance?
So Dale asked that. Okay, I've heard that question recently. I personally would not. I can give you the politically correct answer or the real answer, so I'm going to kind of keep it tame here. It's not for me. Maybe it's for some other people, but I would not do that because the joy of creating and writing music is coming up with something, a melody, a lyric, just something I observe in everyday life. And the joy is to sit down and do that. And I can't imagine having AI do that for me, because that would take all the joy away from me. So I personally would not consider using it ever.
Okay, perfect. From Eric from France. Eric, which album was your most difficult to create and record?
From Eric in France?
Yeah.
Okay, Eric in France, hello. The most difficult to create and record. I would probably, usually they're not difficult, but I think Sticky Love Songs Volume 1 and 2, that was more difficult because I'd gone through something in a relationship, and if you listen to all the songs on there, they're pretty deep, and it was more difficult emotionally than the actual physical task of recording it. It took me 2 years to write and record that one, so probably that one. Good question, thank you.
Okay, another from Eric from France.
Okay.
Do you have any regrets about any of your albums in terms of composition?
Any regrets about any of my past albums as far as compositions? No. Everyone is separate. Everyone is separate from the previous one, and there's none I look back on and say, "Hey, I really don't like that or regret it." So no. Question is no. The question was that, and the answer is no.
Okay. And from Tilly Prestige from TikTok. How many gigs have you guys done? If so, where were they?
Tilly from TikTok. How many
TikTok.
shows have we done? We've done 0, and the locations of those were no place because I did 0. No, done.
No.
Don't plan on doing any.
No. And Jan from Poland.
Jan from Poland.
Jan from Poland, yeah. New Blue Orbit is your 16th album in 15 years. Wow. You are very prolific, which makes the wonder what is the next for BGO, or have you thought about it? Please say there will be more music from you.
I'll say it. There will be more music from me, Jan in Poland. Have I thought about anything after that? Yes, I have thought about it. In the last 2 weeks, I've written the basic structures, and some of the lyrics for 10 new songs for the next album, which will be the polar opposite of New Blue Orbit. And I think I can give you the title of the album. Can we say that? The title of the album? I'll say it. No, I'll say it.
You say it.
Okay, I'll say it. The next new album, Bubblegum Orchestra, is tentatively titled Symphonies in the Sun.
Wow.
Wow.
It's very deep.
Very deep. Oh, very deep. Yeah.
Super deep.
That's me.
Wow. Okay. And Monty from Texas, USA.
Monty.
Okay. Monty. No money, Monty.
I know Monty. I think I know. I think it's the same Monty. Okay, go.
You think? Okay. Looking back. Oh yes, I think you know him. Looking back at the Get Off band days versus now, what do you think changed the most in you as a musician, technically, creatively, or spiritually? Oh my gosh. Sorry, my pronunciation is terrible.
No problem. I understand what you're
saying. You've grown so much as a musician, and I gotta know.
Well, thank you very much for growing as a musician part, Monty. Since the Get Off days, that was, people that don't know, it was one of my earlier bands I was with in Dallas, Texas. And that morphed into Tour de Fair. But to go back to that question, what has changed since then with me? You know, back then I was a role player. You know, we all had great camaraderie in the band, but I knew my role as bass player and singing background vocals, so I really wasn't in a position to want to say, hey, here's a song by me. You know, it would be totally inappropriate for that setting. So what's changed since then? I just, you know, when I started doing my own thing, I always had all this in my mind and what I wanted to do. So it just evolved naturally, organically, and led me to where I'm at here today. So there's your answer, Monty.
Okay. And Mary from Spain, Maria del Carmen. Your instrumental songs are so moving. What is your main inspiration to compose them?
Well, the instrumental songs, probably, you know, it's not going to be a super deep answer, but I write most of the music first, and I don't feel like writing lyrics to that song, then it stays an instrumental, just stays the way I originally wrote it. So it's just the instrumentals are the ones that I didn't write lyrics to, or didn't want to write lyrics to, or I didn't have any lyrics in my mind. So there's your answer. Marie?
Yes.
Okay.
Another one from Mari from Spain. The first song of your new album, A Fauteza, reflects, or that is my opinion, of the Gallic spirit, the Galician spirit. Could it be possible that the first time you saw Oya, Spain, the sea, the waves breaking against the rocks, that had an enormous influence in the force of this song?
Yes, it did have a huge force. When I first visited Spain, and my lovely now wife Angie in 2021, she took me out on a ride down the coast, and I was like, wow, I love this area. What's the name of it? And it's Oya. It's like, wow, okay. So I fell in love in many ways with many things when I came here. And so when I wrote that first song for the new album, that was always in the back of my mind. That it wasn't difficult to write. It's just absolutely influenced by all the surroundings and everything I've known Oya to be.
And this is my question.
Your question?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Could you explain the meaning of a fauteza? Because it's a yeah, it's a Galician word. It's our language here.
I can take a shot at it. You know, I wrote that. I wrote the music thinking about Oya, and I didn't have a name, so I kind of Googled, Galician songs about power and strength and positivity, and that song came up, Afuteza. So I thought, oh, that's a cool title. It fits the song. I wrote it down, and that's the history of that. Maria de Los Angeles.
Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien.
Thank you, Mary, for those great questions.
Okay, Keith from UK. How long have you had in mind an afterglow for Out of This World?
How long?
How long?
And I thought about actually doing a second album follow-up. I thought about it years ago, 8, 9 years ago, and always had it in the back of my mind. And I thought one day I would like to pursue that, and it was like going to be a big undertaking. And I was like, oh, the time's not right. When I lived in Texas, so when I moved here and then got situated after about a year and a half and got my studio going, I thought, I want to do that. I think it'll be something cool and something I can wrap my head around and give it a good result. So I've been thinking about it for 8 or 9 years, and now it happened.
And Keith asks, which 3 songs on the new Blue Orbit album are you most invested in?
Wow. It's 20 songs, so the 3 songs I'm most invested in. It's not which ones I like best, because I can't answer that. I'm most invested. One was Star Showers, Cosmic Powers. It's almost 7 minutes long. I wrote that with Keith in mind. He likes to do a lot of English puns. He's from Wolverhampton, UK, and I thought, let me challenge myself and do something he could appreciate. And it was 7 minutes long, and I'd never done anything close to that, but I always wanted to. So that was one of the challenging ones. What was the other challenging one? Sunshine Journey in D minor. That took me a while, because I always heard D minor is the saddest chord to play on the guitar. And I might be totally wrong on that, but that's what I always had heard. So I challenged myself to do that, and then go into just the polar opposite of a sad chord to the Sunshine Journey. That's in a major chord, and change the tempo on it. But writing the lyrics over those D minor chords was challenging. So that one definitely. The third one, I don't know if I have a third one. Hold on, I got the songs right here. Blue Violin Spaceship, because writing about a blue violin spaceship has to be a special song, but I didn't want it to be just your typical pop song, so I made it challenging for me, which I always like to do first. And I recorded, there was like 42 tracks on that song, and I don't know where they all went, but they're all doing something cool in there. And there's a lot of different parts. It's not your standard verse, bridge, chorus, repeat, repeat. So I just put some things together that I liked and molded it into what I thought New Blue Orbit should represent with Bubblegum Orchestra. So thank you, Keith, for those questions.
Muy bien. Craig from Chicago.
Craig from Chicago.
Craig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Craig.
You came into music later in life than many musicians. What triggered your interest in getting into music as a vocation? And how did you teach yourself to play the guitar and other instruments?
I did come in late. It was, I don't know, I was 21 years old, and then I told that story earlier of Tim Wallet from Muscatine, Iowa. That's how I came into music, wanting to do that video and stuff, and teaching me some bass. So it just happened to be bass guitar, and I loved it, and that's how I learned. And what was the very last part of that question, Angie?
The last part question is, how did you self-teach yourself to play the guitar and other instruments?
Out of necessity. I don't have a drummer to call and say, hey, can you play some stuff? And these days it's difficult to do that in a small studio. So just out of necessity, and I know a little bit of everything that adds up to one big thing, hopefully. It's not like one thing is like, wow, that's an Eddie Van Halen on guitar. I know what I know and what I need to know. I don't try to clutter my mind with anything that I don't need to know as far as that's concerned. So that's how, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir.
I don't know, he has another.
Another one?
Yeah,
Whoa.
another.
From Craig in Chicago?
Yes, another very long.
A very long one?
Sí. From a musical creation standpoint, which comes first to you? The lyric or the melody?
The lyric or the melody? It just depends. Earlier on, when I started writing stuff, I'd go out running and I'd come up with lyrics. Then I'd come in and write music to it. On this new album, I wrote all the music, all the instrumentation. There was 20 instrumental songs, and then I started writing lyrics, which was challenging because I'd never done it that way. And from album to album, I like to add something that's challenging to me, and that's how that happened.
Do you wake up with a song in your head, or do you write songs with a more structured approach?
No structure. I don't wake up with a song in my head. That's never really happened. Maybe once I've had an idea or something, but there's no structure. I just like to sit down in the studio. Usually start with a piano or synthesizer. I literally don't look where my hands hit and see if that's a cool chord or some music to something to inspire me. So that's the way I do it.
Mm-hmm. And now Rick from Ohio, USA.
Rick from Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How did you time off and move to Spain influence or not influence the writing of the new album?
How'd that influence me moving to Spain from Texas? It was huge in my influence of all the songs, all the topics, all the, it's not a biography, but it's close in some areas, and it immensely. Writing this new album here is like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. I mean, I look out the window here and I open the window and I look at the sea and I listen to it and I smell the sea, and I open up that window and I see the mountains and I smell the mountains, and I'm just here trying to live my best life, doing the most I can do and enjoying it. And that's how that inspired this whole new album, just the joy of something new and super exciting. I'm super happy.
Qué guay. Now, another from Rick, and it's about AI, okay? AI seems to be everywhere these days, and there are literally hundreds of AA songs added to the internet every day. Did you use AI at all in creating New Blue Orbit? Do you feel personally about how do you feel personally about the use of AI to manufacture music?
Okay, really good question from Rick
Right.
in Ohio.
Yeah.
So I had one AI question earlier, and I said, I could be politically correct or tell you exactly how I feel. So I was politically correct on the other one. This one, no, I did not use any AI on my new album. I think it's cheating. I think people that use it, if that's all they have in their tank, God bless and go for it. But it's not for me. So that's the down to the bones answer to your question, Rick. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I think people that use it, I'm going to go on a little rant here. And if that's all you got, I know a couple musicians in the United States starting to use it. Well, I'm going back and doing my whole catalog. And then you listen to their songs and the AI sounds great. It sounds wonderful, but it doesn't sound like them. So you instantly know what's going on. It's just like working with another songwriter, It's like, hell no, it's not like working with another songwriter. Songwriters are human. This thing's just been fed some information. It's just taking a shortcut, My opinion, but I'm sticking to my opinion. That's it, Rick.
Yeah, it's on. And then we have another from Eric from France.
Okay.
Eric.
Yes.
Or Eric. What are your hobbies? Reading, sports, if you like a sport, which discipline, or reading what writer? Tell us.
My hobbies. Definitely not reading. I think it's great. I just don't. I don't do it. I did it when I was younger. Sports when I was younger. Growing up in grade school, high school, I had all the American sports. Basketball, football, baseball.
Marathons.
And yeah.
So
So hobbies are. So I don't do those anymore. But hobbies for a while was marathoning. I got into that and needed that discipline in my life after the music career of touring and recording was just too much. So anyway, so I did marathoning. Right now I don't do any marathoning, but I try to stay in shape. But other hobbies is definitely, my music's my main hobby, but I love going for walks to the mountains, down by the sea. What else is, my motorcycling up through the mountains. I love that. I like bonsais, so that takes up some of my hobby time. What else? I thought of something else today, Angie. What was my other hobby? I'm retired, so every day is just a hobby to me. So if I think of it, I'll insert it in later in the answers.
okay.
Okay.
Very well.
Yes.
Dave from the UK. Again, he has another. What are the greatest challenges of creating a 20 songs album?
The biggest challenge of creating 20-song album? Just wrap my head around it. It's a lot of songs. I do everything, so it's not just like I write a song and leave the room. Somebody engineers it, produces it, and I come back and it's a finished product, which that would not work for me anyway. But the biggest challenge is just wrapping my head around it. When I actually get into it, like this new album, I was so inspired. It was just song. So that's the biggest challenge on the new album, was just wrapping my head around doing 20 songs, and then now I've taken on the mastering, which is just because something I wanted to learn, and I've got some new equipment here, and it's just fun, the whole, from start to finish. So that was the challenge.
If you could buy one piece of a new kit, any cost, for your studio, what will it be?
A new piece of equipment. Wow, yeah. I have one more to complete what I want. and it's the Newman U87 microphone.
Ah.
So I've had the same one here for 16 years, and I've always wanted one of those, but they're pricey, and I've recently purchased some mastering gear. So anyway, it'd be a new microphone. You know, that thing's classic. All the classics used them back in the day, and they you know, all the really great ones still do. So I would like to do it. It's super sensitive, like me. They say when you blink you can hear it in the microphone, but I want to see if that's true. Maybe they can feel my heart beating to my love, Maria de Los Angeles. Anyway, okay. No embarrassing the narrator. Okay, let's go on to the next question.
Yeah. You named your band Bubblegum Orchestra. Can you say why and what other names, if any, you consider?
Is that from Dale in the UK?
Dale. We are with Dale. He has a lot, sent to us a lot of questions.
I didn't name it Bubblegum Orchestra. A friend of mine did in one of my bands, Stacy Steele from Houston, Texas. We had a band called Mind, Body, Soul. We were touring and stuff, and he always said, I want to do a side project one day, called Bubblegum Orchestra. And that never happened, and I think he only said it maybe once or twice, and it was at a party, and I'm lucky I still ever remembered that. But I thought, wow, that's a cool name. And then when I started this, I was like, it's got to be that name. So I called him and talked to him, and he gave me his blessings, and I just went with it from there. And I never had any other names, and
No.
I didn't have to. It's like when I write a song, when I love it and I like it, that's it for me. So thank you, Stacy Steele.
Yes. And congratulations, Stacy, for your wedding.
Is Stacy's just got engaged?
Yes.
It's wonderful. To Meredith, yeah.
I'm very happy.
Super happy, Stacy.
Congratulations. A lot of kisses.
Yeah, a lot of kisses.
Okay. Another, and I think it's the last one.
The last question for the day?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got a lot more, but let's just, okay, your last
because,
time thing here.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
I have here more, but this is from today, the last one. We all know you are influenced by ELO, but what does the music of Jeff Lynne mean to you personally?
Yeah, influenced by them and Beatles and 20 other bands, but Jeff Lynne's music just all my life, it just resonates with me. You know, I started listening to it in '76 on New World Record, and then all my high school friends, you know, that would be one of our favorite bands. I mean, we were kind of diverse, you know. We would listen to ELO, and then we'd listen to Head East, and, you know, it's polar opposite, but, you know, his music's just, I just relate to it, you know, like millions of other people. You know, it's I just like it, and for what that is, I love it. I love it. So that's, and who asked that one? Is that Dave? Dave,
yeah.
Still? Okay, yeah. You know, that's what Jeff Lynne means to me. I mean, I would like to meet him. A year ago on his final show in Birmingham, we were there, and with Keith Sinclair and his wife Julie, and we got to see him coming out of the hotel. It was cool. It was cool. So yeah, so that's it. That's it. That's what they call a wrap.
Muchas gracias, Michael.
Yeah, de nada. You're
Fue
very welcome.
genial. Gracias.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
From the BGO fan page, Spain.
Yes.
Wow.
Sí.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. We'll do it again. You finish up. And
see you soon.
Okay. And then watch this.
The next.